Hi, Mrs. Claus. This is my mom.
Hi.
We started recording on my phone, but I don't have enough storage, so we're going to start over. Okay, we have all the papers that we need and everything, so let me read this.
Okay.
Road trips, parties, school, and work. These are all things people can experience when they have a driver's license. Even though it may seem everyone who is of age has their license, that is not the case. In 2009, 87% of the driving age population, age 16 and over, had a license. Our nation's highway, 2011. Clearly, obtaining a license is not a requirement or right, but a privilege that not even all Americans have. I don't know why I can't talk.
It's okay.
Why, then, should illegal immigrants have that privilege? Driving is a privilege in America, and illegal immigrants should not be given that privilege. Driving is a luxury in our country. Even though most of the population has a license and a car, it is not a given right. Knowing this, how is it okay for illegal immigrants to obtain a driver's license? If a man or woman who is legal in this country does not technically have the right, how can someone who is here legally have that luxury? By allowing illegal immigrants a driver's license, this can open the door to more ideas of what they could be allowed to do while they are here illegally. Not only could they get into trouble, but if they have an American citizen helping them along, that person could also be punished. It is a misdemeanor for any person to knowingly assist in obtaining a driver's license or identification card for any person who is not a citizen or legal resident of the United States under federal law. Alquist Illegal Immigration Solutions, Pros and Cons. Being able to drive and even helping someone accomplish that is a great thing, but not if it is illegal. Doing this is disrespectful, and it also takes advantage of the United States. To show the degree of the fraud problem, the governor sent 10,000 letters to foreigners who have New Mexican licenses, threatening to cancel their licenses unless they appear in front of government officials and prove their residency. U.S. News. If someone truly wants to live here and be an American, they need to be able to respect the rules of this country as their own and become a legal citizen. By living in America, or at least being within its borders, it is necessary to be able to speak English. That is the primary language of this country and most commonly used. This does not mean that any other language is not acceptable, just that learning the language would be a priority if living here is the goal. Because of that, our road signs and different ways of communicating information are in English. This means that a person should know the basics of English before they start driving. Yes, depending on the language a person speaks, the test can be changed to fit that person's primary language. But what will happen when they actually start to drive? Learning what the stop signs and speed limit signs mean may not be as big of a factor, but what about interstate signs that warn about traffic jams and accidents ahead? Even a minor accident could result in a much worse scenario, like in Felipa Leonor Valencia's case. New York Times had an article back in December of 2010 about two women getting into a minor fender bender accident. Miss Valencia was one of the women and the only one majorly affected by it. The legal American woman left with a sore neck and was fine, but for Miss Valencia, living in Georgia for 17 years, it was not so easy. She was deported back to Mexico and had to leave her American life behind her. Even though she lived like one, she was not legally an American and did not have the same rights. It is unfortunate, but the law is the law, and she broke that law by living here illegally for 17 years. America was founded and formed under certain laws and rights. Our forefathers dedicated their lives so that the generations to come could live freely and have certain rights and privileges. This is why illegal immigrants should not be given the privilege of a driver's license. That privilege is only possible because of our forefathers and their hard work. America is a country where people work hard for what they want and deserve. So if someone wants to be a part of that and be an American, then they should become a legal citizen.
Okay, I just made a few notes. Going back to the first sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Road trips, parties, school, and work. I think maybe put a dash there and a lowercase t on these. I made notes as where it was going here. Let's see. That second paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Even though most of the population has a license and a car, it is not a given right. Knowing this, how is it okay? I'd say permissible. Maybe change the word to permissible, or is there a different word, do you think?
That's fine.
Knowing this, how it is okay. It just sounds...
No, that sounds
for illegal immigrants to obtain driver's license. Skipping down to the sentence, not only could they get into trouble,
Within.
But if they have an American citizen helping them along, the word along, you don't need that. That's redundant. So you can take that out, that word along, helping them. That person could also be punished. Let's see, then you have your cite. That second sentence of that first paragraph, doing this is disrespectful
To those
to those
are here legally, or
to those who are here legally, or those
to legal residents.
disrespectful, or to those legally trying to get a license, or legally pursuing a driver's license, or if you want to word that. That's good. And this is disrespectful.
Okay.
Okay. Takes advantage of the United States. That next paragraph, let's see. That sentence, it's about in the middle of that paragraph. Yes, depending on the language a person speaks, the test can be changed to fit that person's primary language. But what will happen when they actually start to drive, learning what the stoplight, if it's traffic lights, we all say stoplights, but it's really a traffic light because it's a go light and as much as it's a stoplight. Learning what the traffic lights and speed limit signs mean. Let's see.
Okay, after that, so what about interstate signs that warn about traffic jams? I feel like that doesn't sound very good.
Okay. Learning what the traffic lights and speed limit signs mean may not be as big of a factor, but what about interstate signs that warn of traffic jams?
But does traffic jam sound okay?
That's what they're called, a traffic jam or traffic situations. I mean, but they're usually traffic jams, especially in the bigger cities where you have a higher Hispanic, or not just Hispanic, but if you have people of different ethnicities, more. Even a minor accident could result in a much worse scenario. Okay, shouldn't it be the New York Times? It's the New York Times. It's not just New York Times. I think it's the New York Times.
I feel like I had that.
And does that not have to be italicized? The name of a newspaper? It's not in a citation. It's just
maybe.
I don't know. Back in the day, we had to italicize those. You just might want to check that. The New York Times, I'd say, ran an article instead of had an article. And
I know all the stuff.
I know you do.
Think of it.
Ran an article, and I take back. You don't need back. The New York Times ran an article in December of 2010 about, you don't need those commas, I don't think. The New York Times ran an article in December of 2010 about two women. You already changed that when you were reading that, Anna Legal Immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Valencia, Anna Legal Immigrant.
Yeah.
But let's see. For Miss Valencia, Anna Legal Immigrant living in Georgia for 17 years. It was not so easy. She was deported. Okay.
I was thinking of the proposal.
I didn't have any. Yeah, I don't have anything else marked.
I don't know if the last.
Oh, I do. The American. That last sentence should not be a capital A.
Yes, I forgot to capitalize that.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not a writer, so I'm not much help to you, but
No, it's okay.
Those things. Change. Oh, there's also the page before that, honey. Down toward the bottom, the legal American woman left with a sore neck.
I know. After I know, there's like little things.
But that American should be capitalized there.
Oh yeah, but does that sound okay? The legal American woman. I could just say the
American woman. You know.
I think I'm just trying to emphasize like she was
legal,
the other one
right.
wasn't. But
right. Well, American woman implies that she's a citizen. She's a legal citizen, so I think that's all right.
Sorry, I keep yawning. This is class. I'm just really tired. I don't know.
Too much work.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we need to do next?
Okay. I'm gonna ask you these questions. Okay, and this can't be like I'll ask you a question. You can just be like, yes, I guess so.
Okay.
Can I have to look through it?
Expound on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, is my argument clear that I don't think illegal immigrants should?
Yes, I believe it's. I think you've spelled it out very
I
clearly
think
how you feel.
I almost feel like it's redundant how much I say a lot.
You've made it clear. I think it's very clear how you feel.
Yeah. Okay. Does it seem like my essay is well organized? Which parts seem disjointed?
Well, you laid it out at the beginning. You talked about about driving being a luxury, and that even not all Americans have licenses. I think you were laying the groundwork, working your way through. You talked about being able to speak the language, read the language. I think you laid it out. Is this the length that it's supposed to be, right? Okay. I think it is, and then you wrapped it up about, yeah, I think so.
Is the last paragraph okay? Like, is it random, or do you think it fits? Because then I was trying to wrap it up.
I know, you wrapped it up, just how America was founded and what our forefathers did, and I think it's a good wrap up, but again, I'm not a writer, so I'm not a huge help to you on this, but I think so. I think so. It didn't feel disjointed to me, but you and I talk and think the same way. So.
Yeah.
Ask this class what
she thinks. Because I know I tend to type how I talk, and I can't do that because it's just.
I know. You try to lay things out.
It's hard for me to do it professionally.
I know.
Okay, so for the most part,
I think so. Organized. I didn't feel like you were jumping around all over the place.
Okay. Is my essay easy to read? Can you underline any sentences that could be worded more clearly?
Well, I think we talked about.
Yeah,
we talked about that. We talked about sections of sentences that needed to be changed. We did that. I think for the most part they're good. There's just some that were a little wonky.
Yeah. I know. While I'm typing, I'm just like, I just can't think.
I know the words don't come to you. I know.
No, I really have to think about it, and I can't always think about it. Can you suggest any other improvements I might make to my essay?
Well, I mean, in the amount of space you have, in the amount of, the constraints you have of how long it can be, I don't think so. I think you hit upon the major points.
So no. Thank you for your time. No, I'll get back to you in a week. Okay, students, feel free to ask any other questions. I don't have anything else.
Got nothing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, bye, Mrs. Clausia.
It's a pleasure doing business.
Pleasure, ma'am.
Bye, Miss Claus.